Hello, this is Eric from labofcoding.com. In this video, we look at creating custom admin actions. Admin actions, these allow users to perform a given operation on the selected objects in an admin change list. For example, here I am on the blog change list listing the blogs that are saved in the database. By default, Django usually ships with a delete selected objects admin action, which allows users to delete the selected objects. For example, we can select given objects, and then the delete selected blogs is an example of an admin action, and it allows users to delete the selected items. So in this video, we look at how to create our own custom admin action. We will create an action which will be allowing users to mark blogs and set them to false. That is, they will select a given number of blogs and then set them to is draft is equal to false. That is meaning that the blog is no longer in draft status, it's published. So we can drop into the Python code, and in the admin.py file we will have our admin action. An admin action can be a module level function in your admin.py file, or a method in the admin in a model admin class. It's usually good and advisable to have the admin the action function as a method in your model admin, so that it makes it easy even to use other objects declared in the model admin class. We will have our admin action as a method in the blog admin class. So let's call it set blogs to published. So each action method takes 3 arguments. The first is self, which is an instance of the current blog admin class, the blog admin class. The second argument is the request object for the current request, so you can use it maybe to check the currently logged in user details and so forth. And next, the last argument is the query set. So in this case, the query set will contain the objects that the user has selected, and so you can act on them in your action. So in our case, we want to set the is draft to false, meaning that the blog has been published. So we'll say query set dot update, and we'll update the status is draft and set it to false, meaning that the blog is no longer draft, it's published. So after you've created your action method, you must declare it in the blog admin class so that Django can know of its existence. So there is usually a list or tuple of called actions, which you specify the actions that you have created. In our case, we have created our action as set blogs to published. So we can, when we set it in the actions tuple, Django will know of its existence and it will add it in the actions drop down. We can have as many actions as we want, provided we add them to the actions tuple. So if you go to the browser and refresh and look at the action drop down, we'll see we have a new action, set blogs to published. So we can select 2 which are having is draft equal to true and update them. So say set blog to publish and click go, which will perform that action. They have now been updated. By default, your action will take the name of the method that you've given with underscores replaced with spaces. But if you want to use another name, there is an attribute you can set known as short description on the method. So our method is set blogs to published, and then we add the attribute short description. So this is what will be used in the actions drop down. So we can say mark selected blogs as published. We can save that and we can refresh. We can see now the name of our action has changed to mark selected blogs as published. We can display a message to the user after successfully completing our set mark selected blogs as published. So we can add a message to inform the user that the action was performed successfully. So helpfully, the blog admin class has a method known as message user, which is what you can use to add a message to the user. So we can say self, which is an instance of the blog admin class, dot message user. So it takes the request as the first argument, and second is the message that you want to display. So we can say the selected blogs have been published. Or to make it more useful, the update method usually returns the number of objects that have been updated. We can use that one and add it to the message. So we can say, we can use the count and use string formatting. Have been published successfully. And then we can use the format method to pass the count. So it will give the count of the number of objects that have been updated. So that way, the message will be displayed to the user, telling them the number of blogs that have been published. Again, another argument that you can pass to the message user function is a level. That is, either it's an info, it's an error, or it's success. By default, it's success, and that is what we will use. So we can go to the browser and run our mark selected blogs updated, mark selected blog as published. So we can select 2 that are still in draft status, and when you run that action, we can see that a message has been added with the count of the number of objects that have been updated in the action. So that's it for now. We'll pick up from this in the next video. Thanks for watching.